in a manner. There we go. We're not going to do anything in a manner that is going to create any.
Oh, she just actually dropped off, or she might be switching to her computer. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll get her back on here in a second. Oh, here's, wait, that's not her. Andrea. Wonder if something died. Well, in the meantime, does anybody want to share how their experience is going so far? She's coming back in, but we can still chat. Oh, there she is. Okay. Andrea's connecting too.
Sorry about that, guys. You guys lost me there for a minute. It may go disco again. Oh, we're not disco. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so this is a hot topic. So tell me, let's talk. We got to talk, have a little coffee talk before. Do you have your hot tea? And while we're chatting, I'm going to grab a little more tea and show you guys one of my favorite new teas. I have to give a plug to it. But can someone tell me what is something you've discovered shopping as you're shopping for your superfoods? Talk to me about that. Maybe we'll talk to some of our previous Transformers. Carlos, you love chocolates. You love the delicacies of all the good things, just all the sweets and all stuff. What did this experience do for you as far as changing the way that you purchased your foods?
Yeah, so you're right. I have a massive sweet tooth. You'd be correct. And honestly, doing my transformation, one of the main things that I noticed was me shifting the way that I was, basically honoring that sweet tooth, but doing it in a way that's not killing me slowly. So when it comes to chocolate, I 100% you're right. I love chocolate. I've been really loving the MVP, the Epigenius family, like the chocolate one. I don't know if you guys have had it, but the way that I like to do it, I usually I have my blender bottle. I do a little bit of whole milk and a little bit of course, organic grass-fed whole milk, and a little bit of water, and just like usually go off on the ice. Kind of, it really tastes like a chocolate, like a chocolate shake, but it's not too chocolatey, so it's not like too sweet. It's just delicious. The other day I threw in a little bit of the coffee protein, and I made myself a little bit of like a mocha shake kind of thing. I was good. Like I was gonna go buy ice cream and do all that stuff. I was set. I was set.
Yes, that's so good. And it really is like a mindset thing, in the sense of not having to change the things that you like, but really just change the way that you think, right? It's the way that you think. But this journey is about becoming more knowledgeable. I know without a shadow of a doubt that Dave's mission with Purium is really to get us off of processed foods. So that's what this conversation is going to be centered around, right? Is to look at the dangers of processed foods, so you can be more mindful, not in a diet. Because when I think dieting, I think restricting. But when I think the farm to family life, I also think of being a more conscious minded person, right? A person that's saying, okay, let me just see what these ingredients are. You're not just going to do, have Fruity Pebbles for breakfast and then your power shake. I mean, if you do, you're fine. Like we're not going to condemn you. There's no condemnation, but at some point you should start thinking on a more mindful level, right? That some things are not going to be as expedient for your gut, for your body. Why? Because what's our biggest issue? We're always talking about glyphosate. So anybody else, tell me, some of those who are just getting started, how is shopping? Tell me about your shopping experience.
So for me, recently, just like I've shopped on the outside of the grocery market for a long time now, but I've gotten into a really bad habit of buying my kids quick snacks. So this was more of like a shift for me with the kids. And I used to give them like melatonin gummies because they're horrible at sleeping. But now I've just thrown them all away and I've started making apothecary gummies. So that's just kind of like a nice trick for them. So I've really just made this more of a shift as like a family style for me. And we're really moving away from anything that we were like quick and process. Like if I'm feeding myself good, we have to also do that for the kids. So that's been a big thing in our household this last week.
That's really, really good. I love that. And I love seeing your kiddos with their Hulk shake. Is that what they call it? I love it. Oh my gosh, the kids love the power shake and the dark berry protein. So
Yeah.
good. Anybody else? That's really, really good, Jerica. I'm glad to see that integration beginning to happen in your family life. Anyone else? Like, what is shopping like for you?
I see in our group, Lindsay just discovered Siete.
Siete, tell me about Siete. That sounds like my aunt's name is Sieta.
So
It's
it's a, oh look, Amanda has it. So it's
you go back from the store, you go, Amanda.
Let me see, Amanda. What you got?
it's a brand. What? Yeah, is it
Yeah, I have been
Oh.
wanting like a bean burrito so bad. So I've got the refried beans, and then I get these wraps.
I was gonna say, did you get
Life wraps?
Nice.
There we go.
I'm so excited. And I got some
Yay.
guacamole. I'm gonna make some guacamole.
Siete makes the almond flour wraps too. Those are fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
those
just a
are
really good brand, you
I
guys.
Yeah.
love that.
I used
Everything.
to get the almond flour wraps and I would put a little bit of like vegan butter on it with cinnamon and brown sugar.
Mm.
It's delicious.
Mwah.
It's a good
You
sweet
see?
treat.
Yeah. And think about it, okay? Like on a mindful level, before we were doing these things, it was go for it, whatever, right? And then we're having the gut issues and then we're inflamed. But now you're becoming more mindful. Now you're on, remember the ultimate lifestyle transformation is a journey of discovery. Okay. So let's go on a little journey of discovery today. I wanted to get to the grocery store, but just set up a new lifestyle transformer. They're on the same journey that you all are on. So, but we will be in the grocery store one of these calls where I'm actually like in there with you looking at some things. One of the things I will encourage you to do as I'm pulling up some things here for us to look at today is I want you to be encouraged to discover where are the grocery stores that are more organic in your area? Where are the local health food stores, the farmers markets? Now that the weather is improving, let's talk a lot about the farmers. Okay, I'm going to start sharing a lot about the farm to family life. It's something I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about like inner city farming, helping the lands and the Native American communities and the rural areas, you know, because these are where our food deserts are. So if we work on connecting with the farmers and we work on changing our lifestyle, then we're, and especially for those of us who are partners, then we're going to be able to make a greater impact within our communities. So use this opportunity to learn all about the Purium vision, the life. It's something great to partner with, and you're doing that. The farmers that create the juice and when dehydrate the superfoods, harvest them, grow them, everything, right? Many of these farmers were up against the wall with what's going on with Monsanto, what's going on with the whole glyphosate issue. So Purium's been able to employ farmers, right? These are real people behind our superfoods that are harvesting and getting all this together. So thinking of that. And then there's our lifestyle. We say in our community, lifestyle meals and flex foods. Lifestyle meals are our dinners or our lunches. And then our flex foods are our snacks. So we want to always think in that manner. And I have a wonderful article that I love to read through when we do this particular workshop that I will definitely put in the comments right now as I share my screen. Okay. couple of things I always like to make sure that we go over when we start our community calls is just a little bit of a reminder. And for some reason this isn't coming up. That's okay. But just not sure what happened there. Just being reminded that when we're on this journey, and I'm so glad to see this happening with you guys. It is amazing to see this happening, okay? Making this our lifestyle. So as we go in this quick little lesson here on reading food labels, again, this is our lifestyle. So staying educated and empowered, this is key. Staying connected to our coaches, you're doing that. Mindfulness makes you think through things through. That's what we're going to look at today. And you don't have to be perfect, right? You become more aware of how your body truly feels. This is a process and not a quick fix. All right, so let's talk about reading food labels. This is one of my favorite articles. I'm whipping it in the comments, so feel free to cut and paste it into your notes. And if somebody could just share this in the different groups as well, that'll be great. How to read food labels. We just basically go through this article. It is so thorough, and I like to pull up a few different points from it. So don't let the claims on the front fool you. Everything's going to say it's organic, it's this, it's sugar-free, it's this thing, it's that thing. One of the things I want to pull from here is that manufacturers are often dishonest in the way they use labels. Examples include high sugar breakfast cereals like whole grain Cocoa Puffs. Despite what the label may imply, many of these products are not healthy. And of course, this makes it harder for consumers to choose healthy options without a thorough inspection of the ingredient list. So studying the ingredient list, this is very, very important. To be able to read food labels is something I've been teaching people for years, many, many years in my career, just showing my clients how to make healthier choices. So for instance, you went and got those refried beans, you know, and everybody's sharing in the inside of the community chat there, various things, and we're finding healthier options. That's an example of being able to find a healthier product versus a product that could be heavily glyphosate filled, GMOs, fillers, things like that. So one of the things you want to really check when it comes to reading food labels is just studying the ingredient list, right? You're going to always see quantity from highest to lowest amount. You'll always see that. This means that the first ingredient is what the manufacturer used the most of. So if you see an ingredient that's like quagalaga, shagalaga, or whatever, you ever seen like something where it's like this long, like, oh my gosh, and then yellow 4 or yellow 5 and things like that, that's when you know, oh my gosh, this is a highly processed food. A good rule of thumb is to scan the first 3 ingredients as they make up the largest part of what you're eating. If the first ingredient includes refined grains, a type of sugar, hydrogenated oils, you can assume that you're consuming a more unhealthy product. So let's talk about some of the most misleading claims. They're out there. Light. Who's heard of light? That was popular in the 80s. Light. Light Kool-Aid. You know, oh my gosh, what's another light one? Somebody tell me something that you remember that says light in your life.
Crystal Light.
Crystal Light. Right. Gosh, all sorts of aspartame. I used to drink that stuff all the time. Multi-grain. This can be deceiving, but you know, at the same time, when you're on your journey of trying to look for healthier options, you may run into options that may not be like the most optimal, but these are certain names that you'll see. And again, by looking at the actual ingredient list, you will see what is actually in that product. Natural. Gotta love that one. Natural. Organic. No sugar added. Low calorie. Low carbs, right? And there's certain things when it comes to organic that will make you know for sure this is a good quality product. You're going to see that USDA logo on there. I know Dave was really, who's the owner of Purium, was really involved in getting that logo on there so that we can see products that are better quality. And then let's look at some different names of sugar. This is a good one. So sometimes you'll see something at Costco and you're like, oh, that looks really good. Look, it says it's got organics, it's got beet sugar in it. Right? So you'll see the various names here that you want to just look out for. And this is really good for those of you who have diabetes, those of you who have high blood pressure, if you have some different issues. Reading labels can really be a benefit to you so that you know that you're getting, you know, quality items. If you notice with the Purium products that you don't see any added anything. It's just literally food. Everything is food, all food. That's why we digest it so well. Talk to me. Any questions about reading food labels? Let's talk about it. I want to take some questions because I know you guys think about this.
You might start to notice glyphosate residue free on some of your labels now. So I've been seeing that out here on like oils. I've been seeing that more so, glyphosate residue free. So it's good that they're actually paying attention to it. But I'm like, I wonder how many things are going to need to start having that on it. But that was one thing that caught my interest.
Yeah, that is so, that's really, really, really good. So true, you know. I want to show you guys something really quick to look at as far as what the food label looks like and what we want to look at. This was one of the things when I was in school for nutrition for dietetics, I really just struggled with. I had a hard time in my program because I'm so holistic minded. I don't know why I didn't go to school for holistic nutrition, maybe, but well, this is school. Being in Purium, I think this is it for me. But this was something I struggled with, was how the FDA allows certain things to happen within our food system and within our food labeling. But this is on the Center of Disease and Control and Prevention's website, and just wanted to give you a look at the food label so you can see what is on there, okay? So you've got your serving size. All the numbers on this are for 2 to 3 cup servings. You'll see that, right? You can always tell, okay, 1, 2, 3, see that even on the Purium superfoods labels, you'll always see that. The next thing is you're going to see the servings that are in a package. If you eat the whole thing, come on. Some of you, you know, you're like, I eat whole packages of things sometimes. I don't know. I'll say it. I do. If you eat the whole thing, you're eating 8 times the amount of calories, carbs, fats shown on the label. So just in case you didn't know that. And then there is number 3, which is where your carbohydrates are. This is going to show you the types of carbs. You're going to see the dietary fiber. You're going to see the total sugars. And then number 4 and down is going to show you where your proteins are, your calories, saturated fat, all of those things. So read the food labels. And then, of course, there's the ingredient list as well, which is going to be where you're going to see the most ingredient down to the least ingredient in that product. Go ahead with the questions, guys. Talk to me. Are there any questions? No? Okay.
Ooh, what about nutrition? I- I've been trying to sit here and figure out how to pose this question. But like the quality of the nutritional fats, is that like a key thing to look at when picking something? Or should people just focus on like calories, fat percentage, stuff
Mm.
like that?
Yeah, so I would say just focus more on chemicals. You know, that's something that we talk
Gotcha.
a lot about. Now, calorie deficit, calorie surplus, you know, that's going to be applied depending on what your goals are. If you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to gain weight, trying to gain muscle. So those are things you can work around if you're working with a nutritionist or a coach or something like that. But in terms of reading the labels, you really want to look out for your chemicals. And that's what we're looking at today. You know, looking out, look, I'm trying to film and talk to y'all at the same time. But trying to read so that you know what is in this product. Like, is this of good quality for me? Is this something, you know, that's going to nourish my body? Or could this possibly unleash chemicals in my body? That's what I like to do. I like to, because I look, we're talking about making burritos, right? Normally, what are we using? We're going and using that refined flour tortilla. We're doing all these things before, and then our stomachs are swelling up and we're hurting and we don't know what's going on, right? But what are we doing things now? We're doing things differently. So, oh, hey, did you hear about the almond flour? You know, that's alkaline. So you're creating meals that are less chemicalized and getting more alkaline in terms of your choices. And that does wonders for the guts on top of your superfoods as well. Any other questions, comments?
I would just say rule of thumb, look at the ingredients first and
Yeah.
then look at the macronutrients and stuff. So I know a lot of people are like, well, does this fit my macros? It's like, it's cool if it does, but like, what's in it? Like, what are you actually putting in your body? So check out those ingredients, like Wame was saying, you know, skim through, see if there's any type of chemical, but also look at the first couple ingredients, because that's what's going to be the content of it, of what it's mostly made up of. So if you're getting on there and the second ingredient is something super processed, or even the first ingredient is something super processed, you're probably not going to want to put that into your body. But when you start seeing like those organic foods all across the way, then you start to go, okay, yeah, this is something I want to eat. And then if you're doing the macronutrient thing, then look at the macros after that. So ingredients first, and then the macros after that. But
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do
Yeah.
product of the week.
Go for it.
And we're shifting over. All right, guys, we got 4 minutes left on this call, and then we're going to shift over into the Superfood Social. So if you have anybody you want to invite to it, they just want to come learn more, they can be a fly on the wall and just hear what we're going to be talking about. It's probably everything you guys have already heard. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me reclaim host first. And then I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys what the product of the week is, just so you guys can start to learn more about what we have besides just the awesome ULT, Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. So I'm doing ionic elements. So the reason why I wanted to do this one is because I've been taking this one more seriously. I've had it and I was using it kind of here and there. But I was like, you know what? Let me like actually use this how you're supposed to use it. And I've been noticing I feel more hydrated lately. So what this is, it's trace minerals from the ocean. So what it says here is reducing effects of aging, supporting healthy growth of hair, skin, and nails, and supporting healthy immune function. I always like to read like the benefits and stuff, but I'm like that type of person. I'm like, tell me more. Like, what does this do? So the cool thing about Purium is all their stuff comes with videos and more, and like fact sheets and stuff that they put together. So I go to the fact sheet, and it just tells you like what is ionic elements, supercharged activated fulvic acid, ocean and plant derived trace minerals, all this really, really awesome stuff in here. So, but when I scroll down, I'm like, this is what I was looking for. Cause I was like, I remember it talking about the electrolytes and like the helping with your athletic performance and whatnot. So the immune function, the aging, the sleep, the alkalinity, the hair growth, all that stuff. But then I was like, yeah, the athletic recovery and performance. Cause I've been putting this in my water actually while I'm training. So in between like my workouts, as I'm going from one thing to the other, barely being able to hold on to my water bottle because I got my gloves on. But when I start drinking this, I feel like I'm actually getting hydrated in between. And then Dave, he actually put suggested pairings as well. So like what he suggested pair it with, the Green Spectrum, the Can't Beat This, which is the pre-workout, which I use, and then the Apothecary, which we all know about the Apothecary. So these are just fun things. Go ahead, check it out. And then there's also usually some type of short little blog that goes with it as well. So you can always click on here and it just goes a little bit more into some things you can learn about the ionic element. So yeah, I've been adding this in, muscle aches, joint pain, digestive issues, dizziness, fatigue, frequent headaches. So those of you who are having some detox symptoms, you might want to be adding some ionic elements into your body.
Yeah. Especially like in the month 2, month 3, like you can add it to your smart order. Definitely.
No, James, there is no flavor. It's literally like a little dropper, and then you just like drop it in your water. It doesn't taste like anything. Yep. All right, let me stop sharing.
Yeah. While as we're transitioning, that was so great. I do want to tell you guys about my tea. I get a little emotional because I have never in my life tried tea that tastes so good. Like I'm like, oh, okay, my friend gave me this tea box. And I'm like, okay, it's tea. I'm sure it's going to be nice, but I didn't know it was going to like literally blow my mind. So a shameless plug, it is Harney and Sons Fine Tea. I'll make sure I take a picture of it and put it in the groups and everything. Decaf hot cinnamon. So it has cinnamon, orange, and cloves. Guys, it is so good. Like in the morning, at night, it has a sweet taste to it. It's really good. Really good. Try it. Let me know what you think if you do get it.
Yum. Thank you. All
Yeah.
right, guys, we are transitioning to the Superfood Social. So if you want to stay on and just hear us go through what you might have already heard before, you're more than welcome to. For the new people that just popped on, welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight on this Thursday evening. We're just going to give everybody just another minute to be able to figure out Zoom, figure out the links and all that stuff, and have them pop on here. I know sometimes that can be confusing. So if you invited someone, and you don't see them on here, shoot them a quick message. They might be having some difficulty. Sometimes that happens. I think me and Jerica were talking to somebody the other day who just used Zoom for the first time. We were like, how did you do that? Like, I'm very impressed. How did you get through the pandemic without using Zoom? So yeah, it was quite interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. So welcome everybody, welcome in. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. We're going to talk about all the good stuff. Maybe you guys have been seeing your friends having transformations. Maybe you've been seeing some people's bodies changing, all that good stuff. Actually, you know what? Before I go any further, I think I'm still recording. So I'm going to, wait, am I? Maybe I'm not. Okay. Oh, yes,